Let's go on to the Sunday games, man. Sunday got another doubleheader. We're going to start off with another NFC North team. Detroit Lions, we host another playoff game coming off a big win, their first playoff win in 30 years last week over the Los Angeles Rams. They will be hosting the NFC South champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Baker Mayfield. This man is going to be a very good game. Really, all four of these games, I think, just have great storylines, great intrigue, and I feel really could go either way. On the way Baker Mayfield is playing, I feel like Baker Mayfield has finally found a home. I do think we saw some flashes of him starting to put it together when he was in Carolina, and I don't think that Cleveland should have let go of him to fucking begin with, honestly, but he's really actually become what a lot of people thought he would become. Now, he's not great. I'm not going to act like Baker Mayfield is great, or he's like, really, he's a good quarterback, but you can win with good quarterbacks. He had 3 touchdowns on Monday. Probably could have had 1 or 2 more if a couple receivers didn't drop passes, but he's been really good. That defense has been playing well. Mike Evans is reminding everybody why he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Detroit's been playing well too. Jared Goff has been, showing people that Detroit did not make a mistake by bringing him there. The running game has been great. Amon-Ra St. Brown, and this defense, which was not the best towards the end of the season, was really good last week. And I think that's something that's going to come into play here as well. I can see this one going either way, but I do think the dream season of the Detroit Lions continues, and I think they're going to win this game, and we're going to continue to get further and further away from Bang having any credibility of saying nobody gives a fuck about the Detroit Lions, because they're going to be 1 win away from the fucking Super Bowl. Bang, what you feel about it? As I can see your face, what you feel about this matchup?
Don't nobody give a fuck about the Detroit Lions, but Detroit. And I'm standing on that. All right. But before I give my prediction, you know why you're going to change your mind, Scott, about Justin Fields and Caleb Williams?
Why?
Because you just said that the Cleveland Browns shouldn't have gave up on Baker Mayfield. And who did they give up on Baker Mayfield for? Freaky Sean Watson. And look what's going on. They got Joe Flacco out here that led them into, to the playoffs. They got their ass whipped by the Texans, but he led them to the playoffs. So that's why you're going to change your mind. Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a field goal, y'all. That defense is still spotty at best. So when you put that spotty-ass defense with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin over there, they got a great running game with White over there, and Baker Mayfield is playing with house money. Now we're going to see how it is to have the pressure on you. I don't think that the Detroit Lions had pressure on them in their first playoff game last week. I don't think it was too pressurized. They should have won that game, and they still almost lost that game. When that Rams game, they probably should have lost that game. So now you're going against a team that has just enough weapons, but they're going against somebody who's a good defensive coach that could put that defense in the right situations. I have the Detroit Lions losing by a heartbreaking field goal, and Dan Campbell going to be sitting on that field crying his ass off. Amon-Ra, the right St. Brown, going to be mad. He going to throw his helmet on the ground, and David Montgomery ass going to be like, damn, well, maybe next year. I'm used to this shit. Tampa Bay by 3.
Dan, what you think about this matchup? Which way you going, Bucs or Lions?
Okay. Well, I think the Bucs are a feel-good story, but they're not. Like, they've been ass. I'm a little confused as to why everyone thinks it's gonna be like a heavyweight bout or something. I think the Lions take care of these guys rather easily. I mean, they were playing fucking Matt Stafford. Sean McVay and the Rams and Matt Stafford, they know what the fuck to do, bro. So, that's a team that you're going to look out for next year. Sean McVay knows what he's doing, but I still think the NFC South is ass. I don't believe in the Bucs, even though they've been playing well. Baker's proved to us that he can be like Jared Goff, you know what I mean? I can run this offense. We can win with my talent. So, but having said that, I think Detroit, first of all, I think they felt a lot of fucking pressure not winning a playoff game.
Last week was a lot of pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. I disagree with that. a lot. Like, I think they felt a lot of pressure last week, and I think it's only going to intensify. But I think they're going to take care of business. So I got the Lions by a touchdown.
Courtney, which way you leaning in this one?
Yeah, I'm really with Bang. Don't nobody give a damn about the Lions, but like in his defense,
there you go.
Don't nobody give a damn about the Buccaneers either. Like
this we don't give a fuck, Bo.
Yeah, this particular game is real big. I really don't care energy. I do think that the Lions are going to win. I was trying to decide if I thought that they were going to win by 2 field goals or a touchdown, but I think I'm with you, Dan. I think they win by a touchdown. It's a good run. Listen. I don't know if you saw the clip of Baker Mayfield with the ammonia salts going out of the tunnel onto the field. If they give that man the salts, I'm just saying that anything is possible.
So we saying we saying inside Baker, is a threat to be dealt with. Are we going to see awkward Baker Mayfield dances after this game? I think that's something we need to pay attention to. Dante, what's your take on this one?
I got Detroit by 10. I think they stamped their ticket to the NFC Championship. Again, it's another one. Like, it's a little easier to say this because, like, to JR's point, I really don't care about the Lions, but I understand. They on their run. It's great. It's dope for my family from the D, but I don't give a fuck. So I can say they gonna win. I'm cool with it.
This so nobody outside of 313 gives a damn about this bowl. Let's go to the main events. The main event this was a WWE pay-per-view. This is the one with Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler give you a nice little promo before they get into a little 3-minute promo. Remember they play them little old school rock songs? Them old WWE promos, the reason I knew like certain rock songs. I didn't listen to rock music, but them shits will always be cold. Like this is gonna be like a WrestleMania 17 type promo going in this one. We got Mahomes Allen Part 3. A lot of people, want to call this the new era. Brady, Manning, just because they've met so many times. Of course, you got Burrow has met Mahomes in the AFC Championship game twice. You can also say Burrow's injured this year, so we got to figure out who's the Big Ben on the field in this equation. I want to put on the field. When we're talking about Ben Roethlisberger, who's in that equation. But this one is a massive matchup. This is the first time that Patrick Mahomes will be playing on the road in his playoffs in his career. It's the first time the Kansas City Chiefs have had a playoff game on the road since 2015 when Alex Smith was a coach. Was a quarterback. This is a big game. I've been going back and forth with this all week. Up until like literally before we did this show an hour and a half ago. Started the show an hour and a half ago. This to me is the same thing what I'm saying about the Ravens, but to a greater extent. If not now, then when? Josh Allen. If not now, then when? Buffalo Bills. And that's just really the Buffalo Bills franchise in general. There's a whole ass 30 for 30 on them niggas losing 4 Super Bowls in a row. I would not be watching sports again if my favorite team lost 4 fucking Super Bowls in a row. So if not now, when? This is the most vulnerable that Patrick Mahomes is ever going to be. Let's be very clear. The general manager of the Kansas City Chiefs is going to put every fucking dollar into getting NFL quality wide receivers next season. So this is the most vulnerable he's going to get. There's a lot of injuries on the defensive side for the Bills. They lost a couple people in that game against the Steelers. Gabe Davis isn't going to be playing, so I'm expecting a lot of Cook, a lot of Stephon Diggs. But, and honestly, I liked how the Chiefs played last week. Granted, I don't think anybody, like you said, then nobody picked the Dolphins. The Dolphins should have fucking not even showed up. Nobody thought the Dolphins were going to win that game. That defense is going to keep it close. Mahomes made throws, and there's something about them in the playoffs where I'm giving Mahomes a Tom Brady, you still got to beat them thing. Having said all of that, I'm going to go with the Bills. Am I confident about it? Absolutely not. There's not a confident bone in me with this pick, but I'm picking it solely because if not now, then when? But in the words of Omar Little, if you come for the king, you bet not miss. And I don't know the name of the linebacker on the team. It was Deion something. He said something that made me scared. When he was like, well, Pat's never been in this position. We have a home field. Last time he was here, it was COVID. He's never been around Bills Mafia. Do not poke the bear. So that has me very worried. But I'm gonna go Bills. Courtney, which way are you leaning? I know you're a Josh Allen hater, but
100%. 100%. But I'm also a realist, and I completely agree with you. If the Bills don't win this time, it's never going to happen. And then they really need to sit there and reevaluate their game plan. We had this discussion earlier this year, though, about no matter what the matchup is, we had this conversation, roll the tape. I know you can't do that, but roll the tape, where you said that until somebody proves that they can actually dethrone the Chiefs, that y'all would always ride with Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
I did say that.
Because no matter what, that man shows up. Conditions ain't that different from Kansas City. I think the Chiefs win by a field goal in Buffalo, 24-21.
Shout out. You're right. I did say that. And I don't feel good about this pick. No part of me feels good about this pick whatsoever.
Oh, I don't feel good about mine either, for the record. I'm hitching my wagon to Travis Kelce showing up, and then also a man named Sky Moore. So that's
to
crazy.
me, this is why I don't feel good, because the defense of Kansas City is going to make this close. And we all know, as much as I like Josh Allen, he has a bozo gene like none other. Like, there's going to be some way that he could
Josh Allen over half a pick. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit.
Dan, which way are you leaning? We know you also on team Patrick Mahomes. Which way are you leaning?
I mean, I'm not. Listen, if the Chiefs play like they played last week, I feel like the Chiefs can win comfortably. So the Bills don't have as good a defense as the Chiefs has, in my opinion. I feel like the Chiefs is a top 5 defense, and I feel like if the Chiefs play the game that they played last week, and receivers like Rashee Rice seems to be their new number 1 guy, because all Patrick ever needs is one more receiver outside of Kelce to fucking show up. If that happens, then I feel like the Chiefs can match the. If the Chiefs can do that against the Dolphins, okay, which is a high octane offense, and pretty much shut that shit down. I'm not saying they're going to shut down Josh Allen or whatever, but I'm just saying that defense gives them a great chance. I think it's going to be, I think this is the whoever wins this game is going to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion. So that's how much like weight that I have put on this game. So, and I understand like Josh Allen is Josh Allen, you know, he's going to do his bozo shit, but he's super fucking dangerous. But this is a different, we're just not used to seeing Mahomes be more of a, like, you know, it's not all on my back. He actually has a defense now. I think they're going to take care of business in Buffalo. So I got the Chiefs by 3 points. I think it's going to be a good ass game, but I don't think there's any, like, the Chiefs have been knocked out in the divisional round before, right? Didn't they lose to
not in the Patrick Mahomes era.
Yeah,
not in the Patrick Mahomes era. They've only lost in the AFC Championship game and in the Super Bowl.
Right, the AFC. Sorry. So AFC Championship. They lost. Like, what I'm saying is, I don't think there's any pressure for him being in Buffalo. Who was it? Deion Dawkins that said that shit. Like,
yeah, it was Deion Dawkins. That's who it was.
This is a 2-time Super Bowl winner here. So this isn't like, you know, oh my God, like I've never been like motherfucker. Like I've won 2 Super Bowls under pressure. First one I wasn't supposed to win. So I don't think he's going in there like, oh, there'll be questions about, like, I don't think any of that exists for the Chiefs. So I don't feel like there's much pressure. They're just gonna go out there and just play a good game, I feel like. So I got them by 3.
This is a historical day, by the way. Mark it. It is Friday, January 19th at 5:37 p.m. Central Time. Me and Dan agreed on something.
We just hate the Cowboys. That's the only thing we just agreed on.
I will say this. I'm with you, Dan. As far as I don't think there's not one nervous bone in Patrick Mahomes. Like, if there's anything, if you saw Quarterback on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, it's really great. That motherfucker's a psycho. So if there's anything, I feel like this is gonna hype this nigga up. So that's why I'm worried about my pick. Dante, which way you think you got this one going?
I got Buffalo. I think Josh Allen gets it done at home. I think it's going to be a good game. Pat's going to make it a game. He'll bring them back into it and battle back. But at the end of the day, bro, like I said, I don't trust anybody outside of Travis Kelce and Pat on that offense. So They could try to get Pachenko going. Like y'all said, they need one other receiver to come out, and it's easy to say, well, if we just get one person, to step up. But no, I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I think Josh Allen keeps it rolling, and they head off to the AFC Championship.
Dang, take us home, man. Which way you got this one going?
I think Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest to play the game. And I'm not worried about him. As Dan said, they got a top 5 defense. I ain't worried about the defense. But I am worried about them wide receivers in Buffalo. And that's why I'm going with the Buffalo Bills here. I think if they was in Kansas City, I would be picking the Chiefs. But I'm worried about the wide receivers in this pressure situation under the lights in Buffalo. I can't take them. I could take Patrick Mahomes, but I can't take them. I hope I'm wrong. Let me just say this. I hope I'm wrong because I don't want Josh Allen to get in the NFC Championship game and stick up the joint and basically waste a Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson matchup, which is the matchup that I'm anticipating. That's the matchup I want to see. The Ravens versus the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. That's what I want to see. But I'm worried about the wide receivers in Buffalo. And that's why I'm going to pick the Buffalo Bills by 3.
That paper on display, haters old news, money on the other line, so I'm not going to hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not going to